if we go back 10 years, people were saying that this would be very bad for the City of London, very bad for Britain's financial markets. Now, I'm not pretending it's been good, but I would say that I think it has been nowhere near as detrimental as many people were predicting at the time. And a lot of people, this instance, Bank of England included, have been working very hard for the last 10 years to make sure that didn't happen. And I think we have been able to, in a sense, reinforce why London is such an important financial centre, why Britain is such an important provider of financial services. So that effect hasn't been anything like, I think, what people predicted it would be. I think the level of activity and growth in the economy has been lower. And the reason for that is that if you reduce the size of the markets that we trade with, so if we reduce our export markets, then that does tend to have a negative impact on growth. It tends to have a negative impact on productivity, the size of the market. We learned this from Adam Smith, by the way. I'm not making this up. And that was at the heart of the points that the bank has been making for the last 10 years to say, we thought this would happen, and broadly it has developed as we thought. Now, in the long run, trade and markets adapt. But the long run it's hard to, you can ask people how long is the long run, it's hard to know. We have had encouraging news. I mean, I'm very encouraged. We've obviously got now this understanding about what's going to happen in the Middle East. And energy prices have come down quite a lot, but they're still above where they were before this conflict started. Inflation is higher than we expected it to be. I really expected, and I really believe we would have been back at the 2% target by now, but it is good news. But of course, now what we've got to do is get it back to 2%. I think holding is the right position to be in at the moment for that. So I think it's a sensible decision in the light of the news. I'm encouraged, but we've now got to get inflation back down to 2%. But there is uncertainty around a number of things. There's uncertainty, obviously. We need to see it obviously settle down. I think everybody wants it to settle down, hopes it will. So we need to see that. Then the next step is, of course, we need to see the assessment of how much damage has been done to the infrastructure for supplying energy. That's probably a bit more of an issue with gas than oil, but again, we need to see that. I know there's a huge willingness and commitment to get supplies back online, and that's good, but we need to see that assessment. And then the third piece, which is the one that obviously we look at very closely because it's where our interest rate decisions have their greatest effect, is look, inflation has been higher than we thought it would be. Are we going to get any persistence in terms of its impact on conditions in the UK? Now, there I would say, look, the conditions are one of us. The economy has softened, so that's the backdrop against which I'm judging it. Well, it's obviously I never comment on politics, and today is a by-election day, so I'm particularly never going to comment on politics today. Stability is important. I think everybody recognises that, actually. So this is not a point about one part of the political spectrum versus another. I think everybody recognises the importance of stability, and it is important. And it's our job, of course, to deliver our part of that picture.